Good morning. Welcome to the Adult Education and Workforce Development Statewide webinar for July 18, 2018. I am Jerry Hafner. Joining me this morning is Maryland and the entire Adult Education team. We have a full program this morning, but before we get started and dive into a lot of information, I wanted to share a graduation story with you. You have been so kind to invite state staff to your graduations across the state, and many of us, the AECs, we've tried to make as many as we could. Maryland attended the Turning Point Education Center's graduation just last Friday in Linton. The cover of the program that Maryland brought back included a picture of stones with the caption, "The only difference between stepping stones and stumbling blocks is the way we use them. So step up." In Winchester, Angelina took the steps to earn her HSC recently. She began adult education classes at the Winchester Work 1 after her mother signed her out of high school. "I was failing every class," she said, "and I didn't care." As a student with ADD and ADHD, she said, "There were just too many distractions and too much drama for me. I couldn't concentrate." Because of her teacher and the small class size, it was possible for her to focus on education and to keep on task with what needed to be done. I feel like if I didn't go to the HSE classes, I would still be in high school and not graduated and getting my CNA already. Teacher Julie Longwell said, "Angelina is the happiest student I've ever met," recalling that she would bounce into class, she would be cheerful every day. Her positive outcome really comes out. She said, "You just have to let anything that brings you down be the motivation that pushes you forward." She is currently a home health aide and would like to someday work in a hospital. All Hearts Nurses Aid Training Center in Winchester helped her begin her journey by paying for her CNA classes and tests. During her time with the CNA program, she went to school from 4 to 9 p.m., and then she worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And hardest of all, her best friend died while she was in the adult education program. Her friend would always call and ask about her classes and pressed her to do her very, very best. "He was my main support, so I knew it was time to get serious about what I needed to do," she said. "I started when I was 18, and I finished when I was 18. If you just put your mind to it, you can do it. That's what I did." That's a great way to start a journey, and thanks to the Muncie Community Schools Adult Education Program for sharing her story. We finished another program year a couple of weeks ago on June 30th, and want to give you some information about how we did. And here are some preliminary results. This is our NRS Table 4 as of Monday. I've highlighted some key areas for you to look, and particularly after the slides this morning, we'll send these out, and you can print this out and compare this to your program and see how you did as far as how the state has done. These figures are not final yet, but I think we've got some good trends and some good numbers to talk about this morning. What was our impact? On Monday, when I ran Table 4, Column 8 showed measurable skill gains at 63.06%. This is the percentage on your screen. Our goal was set at 60%. Last year, 2016-2017, We finished at 57.60%. The difference between the 2 years is nearly 5.5 percentage points ahead of what we did. As I have shared with you before in previous statewide calls, we have never as a state performed so high. Never. And everyone is to be congratulated for this achievement. We have never been this high, and for our students to show this kind of success, it's just very, very great. On your screen is the breakdown of ABE and ELL for measurable skill gains. There was a 7 percentage point difference between ABE and ELL. Here is the state breakdown between ABE and ELL levels 1 through 6 for program years 2016, 2017, and the most recent year that we just finished, 2017, 2018. While ELL performance trailed behind ABE, if you look very closely, ELL showed the greatest jump in improvement from 2016-17 to 2017-2018, 6.42% jump from the previous year. Blending distance education, as we've talked before, with traditional classes, especially for ELL, continues to produce higher percentages for measurable skill gains. As we begin the new program year, we continue to encourage you and your instructional staff to utilize distance education even more. As I said, there's a 7 percentage point, almost a 7 percentage point difference in measurable skill gains when distance education is used. The distance education percentage for measurable skill gains in 2016-17 was 64.96%. It jumped to 70.21% in 2017-2018. Let's look at distance education's impact on ABE, ASE, and ELL. As you can see, distance education really, really helps ELL students. NRS Table 4C was at 74.75% in 2017-18. Distance education also helps ABE, ASE students as well, but not as much. NRS Table 4C for ABE, ASE was nearly 70%. Jose is here, Jose Torres. He is our AEC in Northwest Indiana, and he also handles professional development for us in the northern part of the state. Jose?
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about our separated before gain. Let's turn to the number of separated. Nearly 26% of the total enrollment separated without any gain. While we want to continue work on this percentage, it is not uncommon in the past to have more than 1/3 of our students to leave without any gains here. Again, we expect this percentage, our separated before gain, to go up between now and the time we submit our report to the U.S. Department of Education. However, we are considerably lower than a year ago, so that's a pretty good thing. This is why it is important to target levels 4 through 6 to get students as ready as possible for their HSC testing. Nearly 10% of the ABE levels 4 through 6, our students remain in their initial level for PY17 last program year. So that's something we want to take a look at going forward. Now let's take a look at our HSC. Here's our preliminary enrollment for our 2017-2018 program year, which is down from a year ago. As mentioned in last month's statewide webinar, the federal adult education program is experiencing lower enrollments as well. The federal adult education enrollment was down 4% in 2015-16, and 43 states saw decreases in ranges from 1 to 20% overall. So where do we lose enrollment? As you can see from the preliminary totals, ABE levels 1 through 6 actually increased in last program year by nearly 200 students. However, the gains in ABE levels 1 through 6, that was not enough to offset the loss of the 853 ELL students. Again, now let's turn to our HSCs. So how do we do? Our pass rate is higher than a year ago. As you can see on this slide, 75.5% on 2016-17 PY, and our current pass rate is 77.2 that we just had last year, so pretty good. Now this next slide, the summaries on your screen include data through Monday for the program year. There is mixed news here. The task summary is all examinees, including participants who did not study at an adult education program. The interest summary
I don't know.
Yes, everyone. Can everybody hear me well? We just received, maybe the audio might have went out, but just want to make sure. Is everybody hearing me clearly?
Hang it up.
Are we getting any messages?
You're fine. Michelle Davis, no, yes. We can hear. Yes, I can hear. Yes, Jose. You did cut out for a moment, but it's back. Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'll start over at this slide. Okay, just going to go back to this slide again. If this is just, if I'm restating it, I apologize, but the summaries on your screen here include data through Monday for the program year. The task summary is all examinees, including participants who did not study at an adult education program. The interest summary is just students who attributed to an adult education program. The good news here is that we surpassed the number of HSCs when walk-ins were included for PY 17-18. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it back to Jerry, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Jose. Speaking of HSE testing, there will be a new DRC space, at least for Indiana, next month for testing centers. Paula Boffett-Taylor is retiring from DRC in August. Paula will be with DRC and TASC until August 9. Many of you worked very closely with her over the years, and you may want to reach out and wish her well in retirement. The new representative, have a picture of her, Catherine, on the screen. Like Paula, Catherine has been with the TASC program since the very beginning. Catherine was responsible for bringing New York State on board with TASC and is still their program manager. Paula brought Catherine to our offices a few weeks ago. We had an opportunity to meet with Paula and Catherine, and I'm sure you would enjoy working with Catherine. So we wish Paula all the best, and we welcome Catherine as our new representative. Maryland is here this morning, and she's going to go over some information in regard to performance metrics and enters. Maryland?
Good morning, adult education colleagues. I wanted to first express how proud I am of each of you for your performance in PY17. I am never disappointed at the commitment each of you have to your students and making Indiana adult education one of the best adult education programs in the nation. It makes the job of advocating for adult education in Indiana much easier when we can share such outstanding performance. Now on to performance funding. In an effort to simplify and better align our funding decisions to the metrics you are currently using, we will measure performance for program year 20 grants based on the 4 metrics listed above. As you can see, each of these will be of equal value. The performance report can be found in Inters under the Reports Funding tab. Metrics 1 through 3 will be the same as what you see on your program's Table 4. The certification number will come from all available sources, including data entered in the student record on the In-Training Post-Secondary tab, the Work Indiana portal, the In-Training portal, and the quarterly matches we do with the Professional Licensing Bureau. As a reminder, early in the program year is the best time to take a look at this report and verify it is calculating points correctly. Please let your AEC know as soon as possible if you believe something is incorrect. Next, this is just a friendly reminder that student-level data in Inters is considered PII, personally identifiable information, and as such, should only be accessible to individuals on a need-to-know basis. This data is very strictly protected by federal law, specifically the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, as many of you know it. It is for this reason that DWD limits Inters access by user roles. Please, please do not share your login information with anyone. Providing your login gives individuals access to student-level data, and depending on their role, may be a violation of FERPA law. Should you have a staff person requiring Inters access, contact Matt or Bryn, and they will be happy to help you. We'll turn things back over to Jerry to talk a little bit more about continuous improvement.
Thank you, Maryland. I have shared this slide before in previous statewide calls, but I want to share it again and turn to some publications that may help you. On your screen is the Technical Assistance Guide. It's a new interactive document that provides a wealth of information about the national reporting system and the required measures that we as a state and you as local programs are required to report. You may view this guide and all the other documents at nrsweb.org, and please share this information with your staff. I want to spend several minutes this morning alerting you and showing you the new NRS tables for program year 2018 that began on July 1st through 2019, through June 30th, 2019. Let's dive into some of the new tables. Several of the NRS tables are changing and new ones are being added. The new NRS reporting tables for 2018, 2019, as you can see, begin on page 154 of the printable NRS Technical Assistance Guide. So what's changing? There are changes to NRS tables 4 and 5, plus some new tables including a 2A, 4A, and 11. Some of the changes are very simple. They just involve new column headings. Let's start out with NRS Table 2A. This is a new table. A training was conducted for states by AIR, the American Institute for Research, and can be viewed at the website that is below Table 2A on your screen. There are PowerPoint slides as well, and they're available for you to download and share with your staff. But this is a new NRS Table 2A for individuals with fewer than 12 hours. Individuals in an adult education program who complete less than 12 hours will now be included on NRS Table 2A. Please remember this: reportable individuals do not count towards accountability measures. The full definition of a reportable individual is on your screen, as well as the definition of a participant. A participant is an enrolled student who has completed at least 12 contact hours. Remember that participants, on the other hand, those with 12 hours or more, do count towards accountability measures. A reportable individual, by definition that we've been provided, is an individual who has taken action that demonstrates an intent to use program services and who meets specific reporting criteria of an adult education program. Question: why might this information be valuable for programs? When Marva was our professional development manager, she often spoke of critical control points in adult education. She asked a very simple question: where are we losing students? Where are we losing students? There are three critical control points that specifically pertain to reportable individuals, those with less than 12 hours. The 3 points are: number one, a student who registers, comes in, signs up for orientation. 2, a participant who attends orientation. And 3, a learner who attends class. At any point during this time, a student may fail to attend, a no-show in other words, or leave the program. A question that I would ask, several questions here: do you know why the participant left? Did something occur within your program to cause the student to leave before 12 hours? Could your program have done something to retain the student? As we all know, first impressions are key. Was the front office staff warm and welcoming when the student came in? Did something go awry with orientation? In Indiana, we lost nearly 6,000 students in 2017-18 who attended less than 12 hours. Question: could we have done more to get these students into classes and to get 12 hours and to get outcomes? Let's move on to NRS Table 4. As you can see, there are some new column headings with this table. The new columns allow for the accounting of participants excluded from the measurable skill gain indicator, and a breakout of EFL gain and secondary credential attainment within the periods of participation section for the MSG indicator. Specifically, a lot of information here, there is a new column C, which is the total number of participants excluded from the MSG performance, which I will address in just a few minutes in the next slide. Indiana will not report any exclusions because of the number of individuals, the small number of individuals in this category, and the limited impact this exclusion would have on data for measurable skill gains. Column I is now the percentage achieving measurable skill gains. It is the new column H. There are new columns K and L. Column K is the total number of periods of participations which participants achieved at least one educational functioning level gain. Likewise, column L is the same, except it's for participants in which a secondary school diploma or its equivalent was attained. Let's go back to column C. As I said earlier, states had the option to exclude individuals from MSG, this MSG measure, based on the following examples. And I want to give you some, even though Indiana won't be doing this, I want to give you some examples of participants who might qualify if we were going to do this. The participant exits the program because the participant is a member of the National Guard or other reserve military unit of the armed forces and is called to active duty for at least 90 days. A second example that we have been provided that we could, if we wanted to, exclude are participants who have died, who are deceased. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we will not exclude any individuals from NRS Table 4. The Technical Assistance Guide, which I referenced earlier, addresses exclusions. If you want to just, for your information, look those over. They begin and they discuss this on page 14. Aye.
Aye.
All righty. Let's move to NRS Table 4A. 4A measures the number and percentage of students who achieve, number one, measurable skill gains by subject through post-testing, 2, by credits or Carnegie units, and 3, transition to post-secondary education. Both English language arts literacy, English language proficiency, and mathematics gains must be reported for all participants if tested in both areas. English language arts and English language proficiency may be measured by reading, writing, literacy skills, speaking, listening tests by TABE or TABE Class E. Very few programs, adult education programs, use credits to determine educational gain. Columns I and J are MSGs through transition to post-secondary education. Please, as you look at this table after this webinar, realize this. Multiple outcomes are permissible and reported on this table for individual participants. Let's turn to NRS Table 5. They deal with the primary indicators of performance. The categories include, as you can see, employment, second quarter after exit, median earnings, second quarter after exit, attained a high school credential and enrolled in post-secondary education or training within 1 year of exit, attained a high school credential and employed within 1 year of exit, and attained a post-secondary credential while enrolled or within 1 year of exit. The new headings more clearly outline or designate that the table should break out indicators achieved in the first period of participation and to include indicators for all periods of participation. There is a new row on NRS Table 5 for attained any credential. The new row on Table 5 provides a single value for credential attainment that will be used for this particular indicator. The new headings on Table 5 prevent confusion on how to complete the tables and show how all periods of participation are included in the final calculation for performance reporting. The new row, which I just talked about, the attained any credential, allows for transparency between NRS Table 5 and the statewide performance report by providing, as I said, the one credential rate indicator value. Let's now turn to NRS Tables 8 and 10. 8 is for participants in family literacy programs. Table 10 is for participants in correctional education programs. The new heading for column B on tables 8 and 10 will note that the participant count should be all those included in the indicator for each row. According to the National Reporting System for Adult Education, there were questions about tables 8 and 10 during the 2016-17 program year regarding who should go into column B for measurable skill gains, because the column header actually referred to exited participants. So the attempt is to make this clearer for reporting purposes. NRS Table 11 is for outcome achievement for participants in integrated education and training, or IET programs. The purpose of Table 11 is to capture outcomes for participants in the first period of participation and all periods of participation for IETs. It also includes other ways to measure measurable skill gains used by Title I programs. The data can then be used to determine the type of gains participants in IET programs make, and then compare them with gains made by participants in other programs. That is a lot of information. I would encourage you to, after the webinar, go back to the Technical Assistance Guide, print out all the tables, take a look at them. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or send an email to our adult education mailbox, and we will certainly make every attempt to answer all the questions. A lot of information about the tables and changes for this coming program year that we just started. As a reminder, I continually want to point out, particularly for new administrators and for new teachers, we have posted on our website the Teachers and Administrators Handbooks to AmplifyAE.org. Donna Lovelady is here this morning, and she is going to cover some fiscal matters that will help you with your end-of-year reporting. Donna?
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, everyone. This is that wonderful time of year when we are dealing with both the last year and the new year that we're in, so that's why we want to go over some housekeeping items. You'll see on the screen, we review all reimbursements that you have requested and received over the past year. If you have anything that's missing, any payments or a discrepancy in any of your payments, please notify Cheryl Jones immediately. The sooner we know about any issue, the faster we can resolve it. You can continue to submit your reimbursement request for the PY17 expenses up until the time you send in your closeout packet, or August 15th, whichever one comes first. And the only exception to the expenses time frame has been for the purchase of your TABE 11 and 12 items. Closeout packets. You should have received those about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Some of you have let us know that you hadn't gotten those, and we have tried to rectify that in the past week. This year, we are asking that everyone copy our office at the Adult Ed mailbox when you email your completed closeout to the DWD Finance office. If there is a reimbursement that you include in that closeout, it will give us the opportunity to process that in a timely manner. All right. The PY18 backup forms and reimbursement forms were sent out last Friday, Friday the 13th. If you did not receive that email, send me a message. The backup forms are different this year, so you will need to read the instructions that were included with the email. Hopefully you'll see that they have improved. They'll take in a lot of the calculating that you did the last time, and it will do it automatically for you. Even though you've gotten those forms, we cannot reimburse for PY18 payments until your program's contract is finalized. So you'll need to hold those until that happens. The contract process can take several weeks, and if you're a grant contact, then you need to be watching your email to make sure that you get on the signature part as quickly as that comes in. The good news that we have to share this morning is that the DWD Grants Office has sent out the first ABE contract for signatures this week. So that will get the ball rolling, and hopefully we'll see the whole process quickly taken care of. That's it for fiscal.
Thank you very much, Donna.
Hey, everybody, this is Scott. I don't have a slide for you. I just wanted to jump in and let you know that the quarterly report for your grants has been sent out to your grant contacts. Please fill those out. These are used for program monitoring. Make sure you answer all of the questions and all of the questions within questions. The last quarterly report we did, 57% of the responses of the programs failed to answer a question or didn't answer a question completely. If you have not received this, it should have gone out to the grant contacts yesterday. Let me or Donna know, and now I'll turn it back over to Jerry.
Thank you, Scott. Our professional development team is here this morning as well. You heard earlier from Jose. Dan is here. But Nancy is going to give you our sort of review of what's happening in professional development. Nancy is our AEC as well in sort of the southern western part of the state. So Nancy, take it away.
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, everyone. Our professional development team this year is comprised of Jose Torres in the northern part of Indiana, Dan DeVeers in the central part, and myself in the southern part. We're going to have a variety of professional development activities this year that will include regional delivered professional development that you have put together from your professional development plans. Also, that will include locally delivered professional development, and we have some state initiatives we're planning for this program year. As well, all three of us are also wearing the same hat as AEC, so we'll be dividing our time between the two. The important part I want to stress here is that we do want to capture all professional development this year. We'll have some more information forthcoming about that. So last year we had our PDF and director statewide meetings in August. We're going to have them again this year in August. We sent out an email. We have the 3 different dates above on the screen. We'll be doing Elkhart on August 17th at the Elkhart Area Career Center. We'll be at Walker Career Center on August 24th and at Stonegate Arts and Education Center in Bedford on August 31st. You are welcome to attend whichever meeting fits your needs. We're not setting it by region, so whichever works out best for you, be sure and attend one at least, and bring your director as well. The more we have, the better we're going to have as far as the meeting goes and making sure we're all on the same page. Your reply should be sent to Jose Torres. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Let's turn to IETs and Work Indiana, and Jessica Gray is here, and she has several bits of information for you. Jessica?
Thanks, Jerry. For IEPs, some of this information is going to be very repetitive from last statewide call, but going forward into the 18-19 program year, any new IEP or IELCE applications will not need to be submitted for already approved courses. Programs may utilize the rollover function in Enters to carry over the course name and students if any courses rolled over from 17-18 program year must utilize the same curriculum that was previously approved. If a program chooses to make changes to an approved curriculum, a new application and curriculum will be required. Also keep in mind that if a student completes an IET but continues on with AE coursework, the additional AE course hours will need to be tracked in the appropriate AE course in Enters and not in the IET course. For the to-date data, we have 219 approved IET programs, and 16 of which are IELCE, and we have a total of 1,497 enrollees. So to touch back on the process going forward into the 18-19 year, just some quick reminders. Again, programs do not have to resubmit applications for already approved courses. You can utilize the rollover course from 17-18 or create a new course in Enters. New courses will require a new Enters sheet. If a program chooses to make any changes to a course with approved curriculum, a new application and Enters sheet is required. Applications will be reviewed to ensure that they meet current expectations and standards. So a lot of that information is repetitive of what I just said, but there's a slide for you to refer to. Moving on to Work Indiana. To date, we have, or I guess as of July 12th, we have 1,691 total enrollees, 271 still enrolled, 144 dropped. We have a completion rate of 90% and a certification rate of 86%. So yay, we're doing good. Last month, I attended the Education Workforce Initiative Innovation Network Conference. The theme this year was Designing Collaborative Systems. The message presented throughout the summit was the importance of building strong partnerships between education and industry within the community and focusing on preparing our students, youth to adult, for high-demand, high-wage careers. For a successful educational and training program, it is imperative that adult education and Working Indiana grantees collaborate with local businesses and related industry to ensure our programs are ultimately preparing individuals with the skills and knowledge to be successful within our chosen career field. These strong partnerships will allow for a seamless, effective educational to occupational career for our students. Vincennes University Logistics Training and Educational Center, John Jay Center, and Cook Medical were among the presenters during the summit. Each provided great examples of how their centers engaged in impactful partnerships, created career pathways, and developed a menu of options for local employers. To kind of piggyback off of that, Region 9's Economic Opportunities Attainment Network, powered by the Community Education Coalition, has developed a document that outlines educational and career pathways. This document is a crosswalk between all the Working Indiana certifications Region 9 offers and the credits that will transfer to Ivy Tech, as well as the next steps in the pathway to degree and technical certificate attainment. Region Region 9's ECO developed this document as a means to guide students to the next steps in their educational career and will serve as a counseling tool. For more information and to learn how to implement a similar crosswalk in your area, please visit their website or reach out to Kathy Huffman. Her information and the website is listed on the slide. A new industry-recognized certificate has been added to the Working in approved list. The National Health Career Association offers a certified EKG technician certification. The certificate ensures an individual has an entry-level understanding in cardiovascular testing and monitoring, making them an excellent candidate for support and assistant roles in this career field. After receiving the certification, an individual will be ready for entry into numerous medical service career fields. The certificate sets individuals up for a strong and secure career life and encourages them to continue their education for career advancement. Occupations within this career field are on the rise and offer multiple pathways for one to consider. For additional information on this cert, please visit the National Health Career Association's website. And lastly, I think, we still have a few 2018-2019 grantees that have not registered for the Working in a Professional Development Training. If you have not registered, please do so ASAP. There are very limited spots remaining for the central location, so if you are available to attend one of the other locations, please sign up for that date and time. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the coming weeks. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Let's move to some enters updates. Matt and Bryn are here, so Matt, take it away.
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit longer than normal. I've got several things to go over. The first one, the WEIs. If you have put in an application with Jessica for your WEI program, those will be approved, and you should see that here in the next week or two. The button wasn't put in yet. We had to do some testing on it to make sure it worked. So I still got those. The IETs, Jessica said that you can do the rollover on the IETs. That is 100% correct. The issue that we ran into is that it did not roll the check boxes and the certs over, and I'm working with Steve to try to get that fixed so we don't have to do the manual entry again on all of those courses. Go ahead and continue to use it. It will get counted correctly as soon as we work it out or if I remark it. So don't worry about that. The issues with TABE 1112, I'm going to go over this briefly. There are some issues with TABE 1112. The focus subject for everything has changed, right? So it's mathematics. It's not total math anymore. There's no such thing as a survey test anymore. It's only TABE. The issues that you guys were having with the out of range, we're working with DRC on, and as we get more information, we will let you know. But for now, continue to enter your scores that you get from DRC. We know that there's some differences there too, but go ahead and enter them. We're going to adjust the system one way or the other, and we've got different information with more details that we're just working through right now. So go ahead and continue to enter your scores and don't change anything, and we'll adjust on the back end. If you've got any questions on that, feel free to email me. I know that I've been in contact with a bunch of people already about this. We are working on it. And it's not just us, trust me. Other than that, I don't have anything else other than we will be doing some trainings coming up. Once we get the end of the year stuff done, I will send out an email for trainings, and that location will be determined at a later date.
Okay, thank you, Matt. On your screen we've had some questions about TABE 11 and 12 and very specific questions about what does the plus mean and what does the minus mean. The plus is if a student scores more than one NRS level above the targeted level, then a plus sign will appear next to the scale score, and their score will be set to the highest possible scale score, which is one above the targeted level. In this case, students may want to test with a higher TABE test in order to better assess their ability. It is not out of range when you receive a plus sign. The same applies to if you happen to receive a minus sign. According to DRC and Mike Johnson, the national representative for DRC and TABE, the minus signs on TABE scale scores are simply a visual cue for teachers that a student was very close to an out-of-range score on the low end of the range for that specific level. The visual clue will help teachers possibly prepare students that might have longer learning paths before being ready to post-test and to demonstrate a measurable skill gain in the next NRS level. Typically, a student with a minus sign would not be a student that would be entered into a fast track or an accelerated program. So pluses and minuses, they're not out of range according to TABE. Also want to mention as well the L version of TABE 11 and 12. There is not an online version for the L. It is only available in paper and pencil. Let's move on to JAG and some youth initiatives. Lance is here. Lance is our AEC in Northeast Indiana, and Lance is going to provide some information, as I said, about JAG and Youth Adult Services. Lance?
Thank you, Jerry. The JAG National Seminar, which is an annual gathering, training, and awards show for JAG staff from across the nation, took place in New Orleans, Louisiana last week. And the Indiana JAG family took home plenty of accolades. The state was honored formally for achieving 5 of 5 status, and all 12 regions were honored for achieving this individually for the first time in JAG history. Additionally, Elliot Jeremiah of Region 2 and Jennifer Tyra of Region 10 took home High Performer Awards, and Indiana once again outpaced the rest of the nation when it came to scholarship attainment. The state's students were awarded with over $27 million in scholarship dollars, making up 33% of all scholarship dollars awarded to JAG students nationally. We thank everyone who has helped make the JAG program so successful for another year, including our wonderful partners on the adult education team. On the PY17 year-end Young Adult Services Report from Indiana Career Connect, a total of 2,919 youths were added as participants past year, with 67% of them being out-of-school youth. At the year's end, 25% of all youth on an active caseload the past year at any time received some form of credential. There were a total of 4,903 youth that appeared and or still appear on caseloads. Of the 2,900 new youth to participate this past year, 921 or 31.5% of them came in as high school dropouts. Additionally, of all the new participants, 37% had basic skills deficiency. If you have any additional questions regarding this report or would like to see different charts generated through it, please contact Bart Doan at bdoan@dwd.in.gov.
Thank you very much, Lance. Jennifer Montgomery is here as well. She is our AEC for Southern Indiana, or parts of Southern Indiana, and Jennifer has the IAACE report. Jennifer?
Good morning, everyone. This is a reminder that the IAAC conference and presenters materials are available on the website for review and use. Please save the date for the French Lick Resort IAACE April 2019 conference. It will be April 24th through the 26th. If you would like to be on the planning committee, please contact Jen at the email provided on the screen. Welcome to the new IAACE board members, Caroline Foster, Christy McIntyre, Cynthia Warner-Lowe. Michelle Davis is the IAACE president. Ted Pearson is president-elect, and the treasurer will be appointed at the next meeting. Please review the IAACE COABE events, upcoming events. There are a couple webinars. There is also some save the dates for the Adult Education Family Literacy Week, Hit the Hill Day, and the COABE Virtual Conference. There are COABE updates, and if you're not receiving your weekly emails from COABE, please email IAACE to ask for these important updates. On an important note, we're welcoming Jen Wigginson as the new IAACE Executive Director. Welcome, Jen. We look forward to working with you. Thank you. Everyone have a great week.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. We've covered a lot this morning, more than 60 slides. We appreciate your patience. If you have additional questions that Matt hasn't already answered while he's here, please feel free to send them to me or to our adult education mailbox, and we'll get your questions answered, especially all the information about the new NRS reporting tables. Again, thank you for attending this month's adult education webinar. Our next statewide webinar will be in 3 weeks on August 8th at 10 a.m. Please have a great afternoon and enjoy the day. Thank you so much.